We are honored to have with us today Mr. Ron Baynes, who is currently the Coordinator of Recruiting and Officiating Development for the National Football League. In high school, Mr. Baynes was a stellar athlete who went all-state in football, baseball, and basketball. He then attended Auburn University on a football scholarship, but was permitted to play the two other sports. He had the opportunity to play in the Liberty Bowl and the Blue-Gray games for football, and was a starter on 2 Eastern SEC championship teams in baseball. In his spare time, he also received a bachelor's degree in physical education. Upon completing football eligibility, Mr. Baynes signed to play professional football with the Dallas Cowboys, choosing football over a baseball offer from the San Francisco Giants. With his graduation from Auburn in the spring of 1966, came offers from several high schools to teach and coach. After much deliberation, Mr. Baynes chose to forego any attempt at professional sports and opted instead to become a teacher and a coach. His successful career in education would continue for the next 35 years. In 1971, he entered into a second career as a sports official for high school football, baseball, and basketball for the East Alabama Officials Association. This led to him joining the SEC as a football official, where he worked for the next 13 years. In 1987, he was invited to join the NFL and spent the next 14 years working as a field official, including 2 Super Bowls, 4 AFC/NFC championships, 1 Pro Bowl, and 12 playoff games. In 2001, Baynes retired from teaching and accepted a position as supervisor of officials for the NFL. All 3 of his sons followed in his footsteps to become college football officials. When 2 of them were later hired to officiate in the NFL, he stepped down as supervisor and accepted the position as coordinator of recruiting and officiating development. Mr. Baynes is still actively involved in sports and in his community, and his favorite pastime is watching his grandchildren play sports. Please welcome Mr. Baynes as he offers a charge to the graduates.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Dr. Googe, Teresa Whitman McCall, and any of the others that made it possible for me to be here to speak to this outstanding group of Auburn graduates. I want all of you to be duly impressed. For somebody in my generation and my age is here using an iPad 2 to make my speech right here. But before you get too impressed now, I got to tell you, when I first got it, my 5-year-old granddaughter had to show me how to turn it on. But you are an outstanding group, and it's my pleasure to be here just to share a few things with you for a few minutes. You represent everything that's really good, really strong, really outstanding about Auburn. I look around and I see so many outstanding people. It makes me think I see one in Michael Smith, who's graduating with this class with a master's degree in sports management, who represents, like a lot of you, that he's a Auburn legacy, 3rd-year Auburn man to graduate from his family. Michael's also from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and he had the good sense to come to Auburn, too. So that works good. But you know, Dr. Googe kind of touched on it a little bit. There's just something special about Auburn. There's just something special about that Auburn spirit. I don't know if we ever can define it, but we know what it is. I got something in an email the other day. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. It's still pretty good. I like it. Showed a picture of a Auburn person with an Auburn t-shirt on him, and underneath the caption it said, "I got my t-shirt because I went to Auburn." And then it showed a picture of another person with an Alabama t-shirt on, and it said, underneath it, it said, "I got my t-shirt because I went to Walmart." There's something, there's just a measure in there of something. It's okay that I kind of do that because my wife graduated from that other school, and so it's okay if I poke a little fun at them. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, we had the unveiling of the Heisman here on campus, and Pat, Bo, Cam, all 3 had a a very impressive presentation in which they referred to their Auburn experience. And you know, that's what it is. It is an experience when you get the opportunity to come to Auburn and be part of this. They were from different times. They were from different head coaches, different generations, but the consistent thing was the Auburn experience. And I'm a product of the Auburn experience. In fact, you heard a little bit that I played all these sports. I was also in a fraternity. I was also going to parties, and I was chasing girls and doing all the things that students do at Auburn. In fact, I enjoyed the Auburn experience so much. My parents were a lot like your parents. They were ready for me to get on and get out in the real world and get away from the Auburn experience a little bit. But you know, I don't have to tell you, the one thing that was really unique about my Auburn experience, though, is that I played, not necessarily that I played 3 sports here, but that I played 3 sports for 3 outstanding Auburn icons. I played baseball for Coach Paul Nix. Coach Nix came to Auburn as a young coach. He was actually Auburn's first head baseball coach that didn't coach any other sports. He just coached baseball. And he won the SEC championship in his first year. He won the Eastern Division championship the next 2 years. He won over 500 ball games. And later on, I went on to be a baseball coach, and his influence on me was tremendous. I played basketball for Coach Joel Eves. Coach Eves was the namesake for the Coliseum next door to us in there, in the Beard Eves Coliseum. Coach Eves was an innovator. He was way ahead of his time. He won an SEC championship with a basketball team that didn't have a starter over 6'3". He invented what we call the Auburn Shuffle. It was a great offense in which the students loved to go watch and go see ball games too. And then I played football for Coach Ralph Suge Jordan. Great man, namesake of the stadium that we enjoy Saturdays on. Coach Jordan represented everything that was so Auburn. He was such a gentleman. He was class. He was devoted to this school. He had the nickname Suge, which sort of gave the impression that he was a little bit nicer than maybe you know, we had the tough old bear across the way, and we had Sweet Suge here at Auburn, you know. But let me tell you something. That wasn't right. We were scared to death of him. This was a decorated war hero who was injured in Normandy, who was an Army officer, and he was just as tough as nails. Coach Jordan used to use his military background to give us motivational speeches. The first varsity game I ever played, we were getting ready to play Tennessee. And Tennessee had a lot better team than we did. We were big underdogs. And Coach Jordan called us all together on Friday. I was thinking back about this, and we practiced at the stadium, and then we went and spent the night in the dorm and got up early on Saturday morning and got on trains in Opelika and drove to Birmingham to go to a football game. Coach Jordan got us together on football, and he told us about Normandy. And it was real interesting, but it was also very inspiring. And he told us that they were sitting around getting ready, all these Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force guys getting ready to be sent into the invasion of Normandy. And most of them knew they weren't going to come back. And he said it was just kind of real somber, real solemn, real serious. And he said, and suddenly out of the background came marching Army Rangers, and they were chanting, "Rip round, by damn, we're the Army Rangers. Rip round, by damn, we're the Army Rangers." And he said they had their back straight, their chins held high, and they had they brought to the group a sense of encouragement like nowhere else. They had a esprit de corps. Coach Jordan loved that word, esprit de corps. We talked about that a whole lot. And he said, this is what I want y'all to do Saturday when you go play Tennessee. I want you to go with that same esprit de corps. And I want you to go and I want you to be rip-ram. Hot damn, remember you're an Auburn Tiger right there. So we went out and played. Sure enough, we got behind 21-0 early in the game. And late in the third quarter, somebody in the huddle said, hey, rip-ram. And then it kind of started spreading. Rip-ram. We started talking about it a little bit. And we came back, won the ball game. Toward the end, when we kind of knew we had the game in, and it was everybody saying, rip-ram, rip-ram. Tennessee guys looked at us like we had lost our minds in there on the whole thing, but we knew what we were doing. But Coach Jordan used to give motivational speeches, and I want to end with just a little bit of what he used to say. He used to have his 4 Ds of motivation, of 4 Ds to success. I heard last night on the television program somebody talking about this. It was Coach Hub Waldrop was talking about it. He called it the 7 Ds. I think Coach Jordan expanded them later on in there, but they all ended the same way. There was desire, dedication, determination, and then his last one was always, damn it all anyway. And whether you got 4 or 7, it all ends with damn it all anyway. And you know about those other 3. I'm not going to tell you about those 3, but let me tell you about that last one. It's no big surprise that you folks are going out into a pretty tough world right now. We got some issues out there. We've got some economic problems. We've got some environmental concerns. We've got some immigration situations that we're discussing. We got educational problems. I know a lot of you are graduating in education. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you and share with you after 37 years in education that I hope with all my heart that you education majors have a calling to education, much like a minister has his calling to the ministry. And I hope that your intent is to go out and make a real difference in your students' lives. It's the greatest profession you can do if you can accomplish that. But you know what? Yeah, we got problems. But you know, this is where Coach Jordan comes in. Just damn it all anyway, you know. This world needs your Auburn experience. This world needs your Auburn spirit. It needs it better than ever before. We've never backed away from a challenge. Whether it be in space, whether it be in the classroom, whether it be on the playing fields, you are now Auburn. And that's what we do. So, rip ram. Go get them. Good luck. God bless you. War Eagle.